This is Night Views, the new number one spot for all basketball talk. That's men's, that's women's, that's college. Uh, Anytime I'm doing this, of course, I'm still Abdul, always joined by CeeLos here. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, man? Hey, I just gotta say, bro, every time watching that intro, it's like watching it for the first time, man. It's so good.
Hey, man, it's about getting that all the energy, the best players in the world.
Yes, sir.
Again, we're watching everybody. And as we say, man, we recognizing the women's game. I think we're probably the best show doing it right now, man. Like on social media.
Yes, sir.
We really watch it out here. We really watch it out here. And on that note, because it's always ladies first over here. I try to be a gentleman to my lady. Everybody be a gentleman. It's always ladies first. We always got to remind people the schedule. Right? See, we got y'all covered every week, right? We just saw the All-Star game. Now it's Olympic break. So that means after that All-Star game, the Team USA Women's went on over there to Paris, and we're going to talk about them in just a minute because if people haven't heard, this is one of the biggest women's All-Star game. This is the biggest women's All-Star game ever, Carlos. This was really cool to see. Just real quick, it says the highlights. Enrique Goombawali. I had to make sure I knew her name after that game. Okay, I had to make sure. Bro. I had to respect the game. She's from the Dallas team, and she's quickly become my favorite player. But she won the MVP. She totally snapped in the third quarter, and the team, the WNBA All-Star team, beat the Women's Olympics team. There's so many thoughts, Carlos. But what's your thoughts on that?
Man, well, first of all, let's give credit to the organization for actually giving them a trophy this year. Because if y'all remember last year's trophy for the All-Star game, it looked like a little thing you got at the dollar store. It looked like a little teacup trophy. They actually got a legit trophy. The MVP trophy was another thing that it actually looked good. So, props out to them, shout out to them. But, man, I was having fun with this one. I was having a good time seeing these young superstars just give it to these quote unquote legends out here. Like they came to sleep. Like they didn't come to play ball. I don't know what happened, man. They just played. And
they got called slipping.
Yeah, big time. I mean, one thing that's crazy to me, and I guess what we could jump on it is the whole all I would change is starting Angel Reese. You know me, I'm a big Angel Reese fan. I can't believe she came off the bench for that game. And then she still got a double coming off the bench.
Still got a double, which is wild. That's a testament to just how good she is, man. And we're talking about historical women's play. What Angel Reese is doing, they already calling her the Dennis Rodman of, women's basketball.
It's crazy.
Because she will find a way to get the rebound every time. That's just what she does. And like you said, on that team, the WNBA All-Star team, it was no reason you didn't start Angel Reese. She had probably better numbers than anyone on that side of the team. I think she had better numbers.
Yeah. And then obviously we know why Caitlin Clark started.
Okay. But rightfully so. Rightfully so.
But she only scored 4 points, and then she went 2 for 9.
But what we're learning with Caitlin Clark, we fell in love with the three ball plays like Steph Curry. Double team. She was getting bracketed in the All-Star game.
She was.
You can't let her get any airspace. But what Caitlin Clark does, she's probably the best passer in the league already.
She does have 10 assists. Yeah,
record, right? So I'm just saying, we got respect Caitlin Clark.
yeah. No, I get it, but it's just that narrative. They always trying to pin them up against each other. So it's it would have been nice to see them share the floor together, starting, as starters at that level keel, But it was a fun game, man, and the USA team literally looked like shocked, like they didn't expect for them to punch him in the mouth like that.
Well, I mean, all credit to as we shouted out the baller Enrique Agumbawali. She went on. She had 0 points in the first half. Snapped and got 21 points in the third quarter. I,
That's
I
crazy.
I ask anyone if you're just a fan of basketball, look up her highlights in that third quarter. She was doing step back threes over double teams. She was crossing people over, pulling up. She hit like 6 or 7 threes in the second half.
He went 8 for 13.
It was one of the best like, straight up performances, bro, that I've ever seen. Like, and Kobe's my favorite player. I saw the
Yeah,
81 points, 60 points in three quarters. This was literally up there, bro. That's how much she snapped.
34 points in the second half. Like that.
Crazy,
That's yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
So all props to her. Like I said, she earned her second All Star MVP. She got the one I think before COVID as well.
Mm.
Now this game, it drew a record 3.4 million views. I believe the previous record was 1.4. Okay, so it
You
beat
know
it
how
by
much those
2
seats
million.
were, by the way?
What you got?
2,500 per seat to just watch the game.
You got you got to think the two most popular women's players right now were the same two popular in college. Caitlin
Yep.
Clark, Angel Reese on the same court. That's gonna cost some money. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And I'm with you when they said that they should have started together because like that's one thing with the women's committee. It, we gotta be smart with business here. Okay, we gotta
Yeah, man.
we gotta be smart. Like they both should have been on the Olympic team first off. Okay, but we're not gonna reopen that wound,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But this All Star game, the magic, it's about those moments. The first time Caitlin Clark doing assist to Angel Reese, that's history.
yeah.
That's what just happened in that game. And I tweeted out something on the Still Nation Sports and Entertainment account on Twitter, and I got a lot of engagement off of that one play because of how
Yeah.
historic that was, right? So, like you said, they missed an opportunity again to have them start together.
It was, and we mentioned it before. It was a very Bird and Magic moment for the
Mhm.
WNBA of playing together. You know, like when those two players played together on Team USA, it was like it was such a beautiful thing to watch because you saw them both competing, playing with each other, and just be. I mean, at least we got to see them play together. But man, like, they, yeah,
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity there. But and then on the flip side with the Olympics team, I mean, catching that L, I, that had to be a little embarrassing. Now they did regroup and won their first exhibition game. We're talking about the women's team USA, which is a stacked team. I mean, you got Asia Wilson, you got Kelsey Plum, Tarasi. She's probably on her last leg, but you got Brianna Stewart. She's a beast. I will say, let's talk a little bit on the other side. The Olympics players on the Olympic squad. You already mentioned Asia Wilson. I think before we
mm,
started, but she's known as probably the most dominant player. But Brianna Stewart, I didn't watch a lot of her games. She's on a New York team. Bro, like first off, she's a big man or big girl, however you want to call it. And
right.
so she plays the five, blocking shots, rebounds. I saw her pull up for a three. I was like, oh no. Nah.
Mm.
I was like, this is getting scary. And then she put the ball on the floor, made somebody miss and pull up with a floater. I was like, okay,
Mm.
these women are getting scary, bro.
Is it safe to say that these women can give the men's USA team a run for their money?
Speaking of the men's USA team,
What a transition! What a
I
transition!
tell you, hey man, that's why Carlos is here, man, for these moments. So the USA team. Now, first off, like let's before we
Man,
go, before we really go all into this, this
man.
this exhibition team, the list they just had. I thought Canada would be the only challenge. Somehow that was the easiest game, bro.
Hey,
What happened, bro, on the
I am
stretch.
going to give a shout out to Luol Deng for coaching them young boys. First time ever in the Olympic Games, South Sudan. Them boys came to play, and I am willing to put some money on that when the actual games start on the 28th, South Sudan is going to be a team that people need to watch out for because it's literally imagine Luol Deng and playing every position. Like they're all little Luol Dangs out there just balling, dude, hustling, shooting. If Luol Deng was a center, like it was crazy to watch, man. Yeah, man. It was fun to watch them.
For Team USA, how are any of these games? Again, I give you Canada, but Canada sat most of their players in that game, and they hanged on for a little bit. But after that, USA struggled mightily with Serbia, South Sudan, and Germany, needing a late run by LeBron James, the oldest player on the team, who he's not my choice to be a soldier on the team. Like
we know that much.
There's coaching problems. There's roster like construction problems, and just for example, because again, people think I'm being hyperbolic when I'm saying panic time.
Yeah,
like the team. Okay, the 2004 Team USA team. A lot of people don't really talk about this team because they got smacked by Ginobili's Olympic team. I forget where he's from again, but this is the team that got ran off the court. That was LeBron, young Wade. You know, that's before Wade, I think, had Shaq, right? So he had an excuse at that time. But for their exhibition games, Carlos, they were winning by 40 points plus. You don't, when it's practice time, you do not play around. When it's competition time, it's going to get, even Kobe's team, Redeem team, barely beat Pau and Marc Gasol's Spain team in the championship. You know, so you're going to have competition even with the best. Exhibition time, bro? No, I don't like seeing this, Carlos.
So I kind of talked about it in our sports chat. I really think this is, and we touched on it last episode. Not having Coach K coach this team, you can feel the difference. You spoke about that Redeem team. One thing that and I met Coach K in person during a business. It was like one of those things you go and he talks about business and all that, and he always talks about his experience with Team USA. He held every player accountable. The way Steve Kerr and Ty Lue are running this team, they're running it like if this is an all-star team. And like I said, Coach K held everyone accountable. Everyone looked happy to share the ball. Like their main focus was winning basketball. Watching these last couple games, I see that there was one stretch. I mean, we're up by 10 at this point. These players are more focused on, I need to get my points up. I need to do this. There wasn't that chemistry between these players. And, again, we kind of touched on it. This team was modeled to make LeBron James Jesus. He had to be the guy. So, I mean, think about it. Every time he demands the ball, they don't give it to Kerr. They don't give it to Embiid. They give it to him. For God's sakes, he fell on the ground and half of the bench went over to pick him up. And not for nothing, LeBron is balling, but he shouldn't have to ball this much with this talent around him,
And so what do we blame, Carlos? Right? It's like it's a couple of things. Like you said, the way they constructed this team. Again, we talked last week. This team could have used a Jaylen Brown. Just going to say that again, but as constructed, there's a point guard problem. Now, we'll just start from the bottom with actually. Before we get to that, coaching. Okay, there's a coaching problem.
Yes.
Steve Kerr, I don't know if he's purposely looking obtuse or like does he really just need everything to fall into place for him to look like a good coach? Because I don't know, is this a me thing? You know, on that end, like I'm lost at his roster construction or
So
his sub pattern. I mean, probably is good.
so with Steve Kerr, now do we start to question the greatness of his coaching with the Warriors, or just the greatness in the players that it kind of made it easier for him? He just kind of
Mhm.
put a couple lineups together, and you got one of
Hey,
the best shooters. You know, at the time, Draymond Green. I mean, he's not what he was, but you know, he was a big man shooting threes if he needed to, the pick
right.
and rolls. Same thing with Clay.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, first we're gonna always keep giving credit to Mark Jackson training those
hundred
boys,
percent.
right? And then when Steph was ready to kind of take that next step with Clay, and Draymond was the best utility player, you know, in the league at that time. So
Yep.
you put that, you know, formula together, and you're spreading the floor, the three balls of analytics, and it was a perfect storm for Steve Kerr. You know, 73 win team, or was it? It was a 73.
Yeah.
Steph had
70.
he had a historic year. Steph Curry did. You don't coach that.
Nope.
So I'm just saying,
And then what happened after? They got KD.
you get
So
KD, you're falling through championships, right?
you know,
Because you have the perfect player for their style of play, where it's constant movement, creating space, screen, off ball screens. That's Kevin Durant was in his sleep getting 27 on that team.
he wasn't their number one option, and to me, that's crazy. Their number one option was Curry, and Curry just had to defer to Kevin Durant. Like that
Yeah.
to me is like, and then so as Kerr, you're not really challenged to where it's like, and again, I'm gonna sound biased by saying this,
Yeah.
but you had Spo who had the big three, but with all he had was LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, which is a great three to have. But look at the players around them, how good they made them. They're all role players, players that didn't have a job, that they just signed in. And Spo had to make the right lineup to get the best out of LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. And that is why Spo is one of the legendary coaches still in the
Oh,
league to this day.
still top five in the league as far as coaching. Even when after LeBron left, he was having a good run until Bosh had his health
Yep.
scare. So, you know, you got to staff. I mean, T. Lue, he's one of my favorite coaches, Tyronn
Yep.
Lue. So you have a coaching staff there, but if the buck stops with Kerr, I'm a little concerned when it's a close game and a game that matters.
Yeah.
I'm not trusting Kerr's judgment now. So coach is one thing, but there's a roster problem, Carlos.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, the Jalen Brown. That's just the elephant in the room. If they do end up not getting a goal, like heads have to roll. If
Yeah.
you don't have arguably, the guy that had the best year, if we're talking about when it's said and done,
Yep.
best player in the Eastern Conference when it was said and done, and finals, he played both sides, slowing down Luka and being the best player on his team. Jalen Brown is no reason why he's not on the team, but I'm not going to belabor that. There's a point guard problem on this team, Carlos, and we tried to think of an antidote last week. We said, okay, Halliburton's your best passer. Man, this dude ain't ready for prime time, man. Halliburton.
He ain't. But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy with that? And this is my only time I would actually give him praise. Um, White, and you know what? I'll even throw in Holiday because Holiday was big in the last game. Um, they did what they needed to, which was shoot those open threes and pass the ball when they needed to. But
Mhm.
all the points came from the bench yet again. Yet again, the bench is what carried the team to get us to that hump. And who's on the bench? You got Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
You know, you got White. You got Anthony Davis. You got Bam Adebayo. And then at times, I think they actually started Devin Booker. So
Yeah.
I don't know who they. I guess Tyrese. I don't remember Because that it was Tatum, wasn't it? Because Tatum didn't start.
Tatum came off, but Tatum didn't do nothing. But yeah.
That's even more crazy to me.
but so at the point guard position, I think we kind of settled. We said, okay, Halliburton, he can move the ball. It's just he's not impacting the game enough, you
Right.
know. And I think we all can understand Steph is not a traditional point guard. We knew this for years. He's not
Yeah.
your traditional. He is a off-ball guard. You want to run screen, you know, back screens for Steph, get him open, you know, catch and shoot. Drew Holiday, he can play either guard position. It's just
he's
I
mainly
don't
there
know
for
if I want to
defense.
start.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
want him
mainly there for
starting.
defense.
So there's a point guard problem on this team. And again, I don't know when it's going to expose itself, you know, in real games. That's
Yeah.
one thing. And then back to the roster or back to coaching. Why again, this is exhibition. I get it.
Yeah.
But don't start Devin Booker over Anthony Edwards. Don't ever do that again.
Nah.
Like just in real life,
And-
Olympics.
And to be real, like, and he's a great player, but this is my issue that I've always had with Embiid. He is not a true big man, and it frustrates me to see a guy like him who could be the most talented big in the league. And I mean, we saw him get the MVP. He just looks scared out there. He's whining to the refs. He's throwing up shots, and it's just so frustrating as a basketball fan. I went to play basketball today, and I'm just like, I really don't know how Embiid just sits there and he just be throwing stuff up. He looks so lost out there, out of breath. I mean, like what's going on?
He doesn't play big enough.
Yeah.
Even in the NBA, Embiid doesn't play big enough. Like if he's hitting the shots, you think, okay, he's you know, he has it going. And he faces the basket too much for a big man.
Yes.
I'm sure Shaq is frustrated anytime he watches Embiid play. Like it's like you know, so that's one thing. But I think what we're seeing with this team, Kerr's going to go with a legacy lineup. You know, when it's all said and done. Again, Ant Edwards, he's going to end up starting. I don't know why. I don't know why he experimented with Devin Booker. Like Devin Booker, like I mean, some people think maybe he should start on his own team. I don't know. I was like, but it's like, but Ant Edwards Edwards supposed to be your best player on this team. So I don't know what Kerr is doing, taking the juice out of that. LeBron, I mean, kudos to LeBron. You know, he knows this is documentary. He probably has cameras following him everywhere in Paris, you know, for the next documentary, you know, 2 years from now, right? After he retires. So I get it. But this is how LeBron plays. This is literally how he plays. And that's great. But if LeBron has to do this, now again, Durant's still gimpy, right?
He'll be ready to go on, I guess, Sunday. That's the 28th, right?
Okay. Right. Yeah. So we'll see how that changes because I don't want LeBron's workload to be this, right? It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Durant's supposed to be there to spell that, but the main culprit right now, Mr. I got a ring now, Jason Tatum. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, again, we got the wrong Celtic.
We got to get a bum button for the show. Just bum every time we talk about Tatum. Because, man, this is ridiculous. He's proven everyone's point that Jaylen Brown is the guy. He's proven my point that Jaylen Brown had a big book bag and Tatum just hanging on the background, you know, just carrying the team. Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
Hey, it's real talk. And, again, when these games start mattering, who are we going to trust? I trust Steph will step up. Props to old man LeBron. He's going to give it his all. He's playing for the cameras, and he has to leave it all on the floor, right? So okay.
Hey, we all know LeBron needs that line that Kobe had. I took that personal. You know, you know.
So he needs that. I believe Anthony Edwards will be ready for prime time, and he closes the games, even if he doesn't start.
Yeah,
Kerr knows. Ant Edwards is one of your closers. Outside of that, we're at the front court. Your boy Bam Adebayo. Hopefully he still gets the same minutes that he's getting because he is going to be a bench player on this team. Just on this team,
no, 100%.
Kerr's going to start Embiid. Like it's just there's no way around it. He's going to start Embiid over Anthony Davis for some reason. Um, so it's Anthony Davis and Bam bringing that energy off the bench,
Yep.
and I don't know, hopefully Tatum or Booker shows up. I just don't trust this team, man. I don't.
So to that, my only like thing that I actually like is this second unit, because I'm really liking the defense between and how they play off each other. Like there was a play last game where Bam set up a actual screen for AD. AD comes in and they're just playing off of each other coming off the bench, man, and it's beautiful basketball to watch. But it's frustrating because you mentioned Anthony Edwards, and Anthony, you could see when he comes off the bench, it's a struggle for him to get going. But when he gets going, he's the star that we know he is. And man, like they're cutting the juice from him. We can get to these leads out earlier. Like if we keep waiting, one team is gonna bite us in the mouth, and it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna be a pretty sight.
Hey, I mean, like we said a couple weeks ago, do we think Team USA will go undefeated in like round play, like after exhibition? I don't think so. I think USA will drop at least one game. They still make it to the goal by losing one game, but I don't think they're going undefeated, man. I don't think it's happening.
And I mentioned South Sudan. Shout out to Germany, reigning champs.
Mm-hmm.
They look scary. Like if Shooter could play like this in the NBA, sheesh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So with this headline talking about the Power 12 rankings for the Olympics, USA is still favored because again they're factoring in, just according to USA Today, Kevin Durant is going to be the difference. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. He's a bucket. We know KD by now, and maybe this will change the dynamic. Maybe this will again spell LeBron a little bit because LeBron's going to bring it. Like I said, I don't hate effort at all.
Do you think they'll push LeBron to the 3 or keep him at the 4 and have KD come off as a 3 to start off at the 3?
It could be interchangeable, but I think LeBron 4, you put KD at 3 so he could be on the wing more.
Right.
And I just think a lot of shots that Tatum's missing, that Derek White's missing, that all these guys miss, I think KD will hit those. I just, KD is, he's a bucket, man. Like, that is a big piece. I just figured we had enough, even without him.
Yeah.
So I think things will look different with KD on the floor.
I wouldn't be surprised if we barely see Tatum out there as much. Because KD, one thing I can say about KD, all the stuff put aside doesn't have to do with basketball. When he's healthy and he wants to hoop, KD will be out there. If he could play the whole game, he would, because he's a baller. That's what he wants to do. He's known. He just wants to get out there and ball. So if KD fits perfectly, I see Tatum minutes not being utilized as much.
No doubt. So it's pretty clear, Tatum's just not that dude. But as far as this Power 12, just to kind of talk about the top 6 teams. So these are the top 6 teams they feel can challenge the USA. Right. It starts with Spain for out of nowhere in my eyes. The Gasol brothers have been gone. Yeah. You still got people like Rudy Fernandez, who's an ex-NBA player. Hernan Gomez, who is an ex-NBA player. So they got some NBA pedigree with Spain, right? That's one team. And then you go up to Australia, which, again, they got Josh Giddey for some reason is able to put, Giddey. You got Ingles, Patty Mills, Josh Green.
Patty Mills, he's one that's known. That's like when it's Olympic time, he becomes a whole other animal.
He has that nationalistic like he's great. Just like Schroeder. You mentioned Schroeder. They just I think they're in the top 6. Let me see. Yeah, they're the defending champs from FIBA. But
from FIBA.
Before we get to them, you have Serbia. That's Jokic team and Bogdanovic. They're on that team. Serbia is tough. Then you climb up to Germany. They're in the top four. That's Schroeder. That's the Wagner boys
Yep.
from Orlando. So they have a squad. They're formidable, like real talk. Top two teams that can challenge USA is France with Wembanyama,
Oh yeah.
Nick Batum, Gobert, Fournier. So they have a squad. And I think it's clear Canada, they feel Canada can challenge them.
Yeah,
As well.
that squad's loaded. Canada's loaded.
Yeah, so you're looking at really Canada, Germany, and France will be the real teams that make some noise. And I can't say with the way this team is constructed, they can get clipped by one of these teams, man. They really
Yeah.
could. I would not be surprised at all. So we'll see. We'll
Yes,
see what
sir.
happens with that. Let's take a look at some of the recent transactions this past week or so. We probably missed one or two last week, but got to start with the man, Russell Westbrook. He still doesn't get enough respect.
Not at all, man.
He's a Hall of Famer. Okay, Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer. He asked to go to the bench with the Clippers last year because they had Harden, they had Paul George,
Yeah.
But long story short, he's with the Nuggets now, Carlos. I mean, does he have any juice left to you?
Oh, 100. I honestly, and what's pretty cool about this deal going about is Jovic fought for the Nuggets to go out and get Westbrook. That's going to be a scary lineup, man. Imagine this. You could run it. You could run a team to where Westbrook. You could even shoot Murray to the 2, have Jovic in there. Like, man, that Westbrook. I believe with the Clippers last year, he had a pretty decent season last year, and like when he was on the floor, he was scoring, he was moving the ball around. So, man, you're giving him a true big man. Pick and rolls. He's good. He's known for his pick and rolls. He's going to be wide open a lot of times. I say, man, this is a great move for the Nuggets. It's a sneaky move for them, honestly.
There's talk basically saying Jamal Murray may be an off like Steph Curry type. Off guard. Do you consider, maybe matchup wise or whatever, consider starting Westbrook with Murray backcourt?
Listen, that'll be a scary thing. I wouldn't want to play against that because, like you're saying, you have Murray coming off the ball, off the pick and roll, moving around, getting open. He could pass it to Murray to shoot, or he could just go ahead off the pick and roll, take it in. You get a hammer dunk from Westbrook. Like the ball movement. If they do this, like we thought ball movement when they won the championship was good with Denver, it's about to be on a whole nother level. Because you're giving Murray that freedom to roam. You're giving Jovic the freedom to set multiple people up. Even if it's I know I'm getting very technical here, but like you have Jovic. He could set one of those screens for Murray coming off the ball. Now Westbrook has the opportunity. Am I going to shoot? Am I going to pass to Murray? Or you got Jovic, one of the best big men right now in the league, wide open off of that pick and roll screen. So, man, that's
I mean,
my coaching mind just goes crazy with that.
I mean, I think with this team, that's my computer segment. I think with this team, what they lost with like KCP, Bruce Brown, like maybe Westbrook could bring some of that, hustle back to the team. So we'll see, right? We'll see kind of how it is. I still think it's more shooting.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true. And honestly, one of my destinations for Klay Thompson was the Denver Nuggets. I thought he was going to end up there. That would have been a nice pickup for him. But looking at the physicality of Westbrook, it kind of gives you, like how you mentioned, that Bruce Brown, and then you got the Reggie Jackson. He's not there now. It's just shooting. The shooting wise, or was it Reggie who played on them? I know Caldwell played. Reggie. So yeah, it's a solid pickup. Definitely need a couple more pieces.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll kind of see, because hey, every year, if you win a title, the other teams are going to get better. and they're going to
Yeah.
try to steal your players. And that's what the Nuggets are going through. You got the best big man in the world.
Yeah.
You got arguably, top 5 2-man team, like with Jamal Murray and Jokic. Like
Yeah.
Jokic, they're right there as far as two tandems. It's about the others, as Shaq would say. Like these
Right.
others, you got to keep those guys going. I mean, Aaron Gordon's great. Porter Jr. is not consistent enough. So is there another level for him? So, we'll see. But then if he takes another level, another team's going to come and pay him to take him away.
Right.
That's just how it goes, man.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Nah, man. 4 years, I've had to deal with that. With my team. It's just how it is.
Yeah. The rich don't stay rich in the NBA with these salary caps. But you mentioned Reggie Jackson. That's another transaction. He got signed by the Sixers.
Right.
The Sixers are loading up. They already got Eric Gordon. They got Oubre. I'm talking about role players. They're stocking up with these guys. And I think their biggest move was letting Tobias Harris go. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. This opened up the floor. Like honestly, so when we make it big and we take over Undisputed, we need to get that dude's agent to talk deals for us because how is he still making that much money? On the team that he left. That's the crazy part. He left the Pistons to go to the Sixers, and he's back on the Pistons making all this money. It's crazy to me. But so Reggie got bought out and by the Bobcats, and then he signed with the Sixers. This right here is a great move for the Sixers, because first of all, shout out to Tyrese Maxey. This dude, they're gonna have to drug test this man because this man is looking crazy. Like I was watching the workout video, and that scrawny little dude that we saw last season, I don't know what he's been doing this offseason, but he looks like a totally different basketball player. And so having a veteran like Reggie Jackson to help him even more in this ascension that he's showing the league, I think this is another solid but good pickup for a team that's like win now, right? And again, no excuses for Embiid. All the pressure this season falls on Embiid. He needs to win.
Yeah, there's no excuses. No excuses, especially for Heat fans for Embiid, right? One more transaction is kind of someone coming back home. Dinwiddie ended back up with the Mavericks. So you got Clay. You're bolstering the team. I think they let Derek Jones go, who couldn't hit an open shot to save his life.
Nah.
But you bring back Dinwiddie, who comfortably will play behind Kyrie.
Yep.
And again, they're bolstering their shooting, is what the Mavericks are doing, because you can't just bracket Luka and shade Kyrie. You have Clay now, and now Dinwiddie right there too. What do you think of this one?
So, real quick, Dinwiddie, did he play with Kyrie when he was in Brooklyn?
I want to say he came with the move
to Dallas
when Kyrie left. I want to say it was right after that.
Okay. Because I mean, he was big for Brooklyn, and this is that bench, that we've talked about, that the other guys that when he's coming off the bench to support the star players in Kyrie and Luka, I would want him out there. He's a baller. Sure. So yeah, I another good sneaky move. There's a lot of these going on, man. It's going to be a fun year to watch the basketball coming up.
For sure, man. We're looking forward to. We're gonna keep an eye on any other moves that comes up. And one story we're gonna get to before our final shout out for something I know Carlos was talking about before that point.
My boys.
It's been a lot of talk about the NBA on TNT, the last ride of TNT. Inside the NBA.
Yes.
Shaq. Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, Ken, right? That's what, it's been, we grew up on that basically this past generation. So
Oscar level.
To hear that Zaza, who's head of WBD, was like, we ain't going to spend no $4 billion, whatever much it costs to keep it. A lot of people, was like, man, you're losing the best sports show, literally the best sports show on TV. Emmy winning. And then Chuck Charles Barkley says, "Hey, no matter what happens after next season, that's his last season. So even if they save the NBA, Chuck is done after next season, which seemed like that was done last year with the contract.
Right.
But in the 11th hour, I don't know. Now Zaza hit his head, was trying to be smart with stuff. I don't know what happened. Now, this a little technicality to this though. Now, they lost the bid for the NBC package. So I want to make this clear to people. Um, the big powers of NBA, broadcasting NBA, you still got ESPN, and they do ABC, broadcast TV. NBC won the TNT package, so that means they're going to get the bulk of the season. NBA is back on NBC. Will they bring that song back? We'll see. But and then it's going to stream on Peacock. Now again, all this stuff's going to happen after next season, so this 2025 season. But
Okay.
so this is ESPN, NBC, and then there was a third package floating there. Amazon got it for $2 billion, where they're going to stream the in-season tournaments. They're going to have select games, but it's going to be a reduced package. That's the package that Zaza said, "Oh, we could dig up like $2 billion and match
Yeah.
Amazon." So according to this report, they matched the Amazon deal contingent on the NBA deciding where they want these games aired. So this is kind of a wrinkle here. The NBA could be like, screw TNT. Like, why did y'all fall back? Maybe we want to press this on streaming Amazon. To know this is a reduced deal. Now again, this is after Charles Barkley leaves.
Right.
So we're going to get a full season inside the NBA next season, 2024 season. Starting the season after you leave, it's going to be reduced scheduling if TNT wins this. What do you think? And make this clear as well too. WBD has TNT cable channel and Max for streaming.
Right.
Amazon just has Amazon for streaming, but they just sound cooler. Who do you think NBA should choose with this though?
To be real, it's kind of like a personal preference type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
With what Amazon has done with the NFL and how they have you have, what is it, Monday nights or Sunday nights where it's the late night games and they go. Imagine having NFL on Amazon and NBA. Like that would be, to me, that would be a lot better because you, like I said, you already have one of the sports that everybody watches on there, and then you're moving it now. So you see, I have Max, and there's a selective amount of games that get on Max last season that, like, if you're not really fans of these teams, you're not going to sit there and watch it. You're probably just going to go check out what's on TNT anyways. So money moves, if I was the NBA, and how Amazon with everything they're streaming, whether it's the boys, whether they're doing tennis, they're doing a lot of different sports on there. They're almost known for their sports catalogs in Amazon. I would lean towards Amazon. I really would.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that, Charles. I look at the interface and the usability. It was a nightmare, really, relatively. I know where it's like third world problems now. But it's like scrolling to watch a game on Max compared to Amazon. Like, it's comparably difficult on Max because you gotta kind of click, the screen keeps changing. You gotta hope you click on it right, and then you gotta go to another screen to click to start the game or resume. It's just a little clunky. The Max isn't really made for on-demand sports. It just isn't.
I don't remember. Does Max have a live TV feature? Like, there's live TV?
No.
You see, Amazon does. So when you click that, the first thing that pops up, if you click that sports catalog, when you go to guide, you see the latest game that's out there. That is, again, like how you're saying, very user friendly
interface. Yeah. With Max, like, it's literally, if the game is in progress, it's like they don't know what to do with themselves. They're just like, go to this game, and then it starts from the beginning. I'm like, okay, this is annoying. It's an extra button push. Like,
and they're trying to run it through the Bleacher Report and all that stuff. So you don't really get a lot of, like I'm saying, you don't really get a lot of games when you're using Max. So it's very complicated. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it is very complicated.
If I'm the NBA, I mean, you want to be the cutting edge of technology and streaming. Amazon really is the clear move. I feel. I
Yeah,
think this could end up being to Zazzaf and WBD's just telling the shareholders, "Hey, we tried, man. Hey, we
yeah,
tried for
yeah,
the lowest package possible, and they said no." And so he saves face. If that's the case, I feel it's just my gut feeling, and really, I think what some analysts of this are saying, they still think Amazon will get it because it's cooler. Amazon's cooler,
yeah.
and again,
Didn't they
you know,
run
Snap's not going to
also?
be
My bad. Didn't they run also during the playoffs? Like they had a whole segment of like kind of like an NBA, like a inside the NBA, where you had a what's his name, guy with the beard. Used to be a quarterback for the Dolphins. I should really know. Fitzpatrick. He was on
there.
there. You had a whole cast of ex NFL players actually at the podium at each game, and like I can see them doing that same thing. You know, with the NBA.
That's a good point with the broadcast team around the football games is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think the Amazon is showing like Amazon did some great stuff with football, the Thursday night games, right? That's
Yes.
one thing. And then they did the Black Friday game. I think it was the first ever Black Friday game.
Yep.
Again, they bring their own broadcast. They have different camera angles. They got some cool stuff, next gen stats. Like you can have different, like you can watch a feed where it's feeding you like fantasy information as you're watching. And it is, I watch that because I guess I'm a nerd, but it's
Yeah.
like,
We all are, bro.
it's like, but it's like that's cool. Amazon just feels cooler. And like you said,
Well, imagine that with the in season tournament
exactly,
where you have the
exactly.
different lineups, set up while you're watching the game you want to watch. Like that, dude.
Mhm.
I think we're writing the script for him pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're ahead of the game. I think they know. I think NBA knows. For
Yeah.
your brand, you want like a dying cable channel. Just all due respect,
Mm.
or again a cutting edge streaming platform, and that's more advertising dollars. That's money's going to talk overall with that. So we'll see. I think again, you know, they're going to make the obvious choice here. So
Right.
final thing we want to touch on this week with Night Views. It was the summer league. I didn't really watch any of the game. I mean, I saw Bronny. Just a quick shout out. I've been hard on the Lakers. None of this was because of Lil Bronny, right? He's a 55th pick.
Yeah.
I don't expect him to burn up the league, but somehow he's better than the number 2 pick in the NBA. I don't know how this happened, but Bronny's finding his shot. He always gives effort on defense. It's about they want to have that moment with his dad, and
Yeah.
he's gonna go to the G League. And I hope he gets stronger. I hope he stays healthy. I'm not expecting that from Bronny. I'm not expecting that.
Can I add to that real quick? Look, guys, the comparison needs to stop. I understand that Jaylen Brown only scored 6 points in his first 2 games of summer. Come on, man. This is the MVP of the league. Can we stop?
Come on.
Can we stop the comparison of Bronny James to Jaylen Brown? It's a total disrespect. If Bronny James is the next Jaylen Brown, I'm the next D Wade. Come on, man. Like, come on, bro.
All I'm saying, any one of those, and these are mostly LeBron fans. What they call them, LeBron sexuals, I think what they call them on social media. Those are the only ones trying to prop this up, saying, "Oh, look at Bronny's Jaylen Brown is Eastern Conference MVP, Finals MVP, and it's probably dating the baddest female player living right now." So
Yes, sir.
they're not the same. Bronny and Jaylen Brown.
Not at
Let's
all.
stop that. Let's stop that. All right,
Yeah, Bronny's out here holding Modern Warfare championship, belts, and Jaylen Brown holding up the MVP trophy. Y'all gonna compare the two? Come on, man.
Come on now. There's no respect. And
You
then that's
know,
after y'all done put Jaylen Brown on the Olympic team.
like,
No,
come on.
let's stop the Jaylen Brown. The reason why I respect people probably wonder why Jaylen Brown's a Celtic player. Still, you're a Lakers fan. Why are you riding for Jaylen Brown so much? I respect Jalen Brown. This man went and played in the Big Three
Yep.
last year. I just pure respect for Ice Cube saying that was his statement. And that's, again, people aren't realizing the politics of this. That made the NBA, kind of get a black eye. They're like, oh, well, we don't want to partner because Ice Cube was speaking out against Adam Silver last year.
Yep.
And Jalen Brown said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and play with them and just show the solidarity. The NBA didn't like that. Now the Olympic Committee doesn't like that. All of a sudden, he's now on the Olympic team, amongst other things, right?
It's funny you say that because it draws that line.
Mm-hmm.
You understand why the narrative is what it is now.
Yeah.
And, that's great.
So it's a lot of hate. So when I see people just blindly hating on Jalen Brown, it's like, realize Jalen Brown has principles, okay?
Yep.
Like, so shout out to Jalen Brown. I'm a fan of his game. On and off the court, apparently. But back to the summer league. Your Miami Heat, they got some young talent brewing there. They won the summer league champ.
Listen, so shout out to Memphis. Their pick, number one pick. He was injured. Yeah, he wasn't able to play. But that team, Scottie Pippen Jr., monster. He's going to be a legend in the league in the future. Man, this was a nail biter, like the whole way. Like there was a couple lead changes. Memphis was up mainly the whole game, and then they went into overtime. And so with the summer league, overtime is different. It's the first team to score to 120. So that's what made it even more competitive. And man, I always mess up his name, Pelle Larsson for the Miami Heat.
Hey, if you don't know, I don't know.
Yeah. So Pelle Larsson, this man, the way he plays, this is what we wanted Hero to be. This man plays defense. He has a great shot. He distributes the ball. I would not be surprised if Pelle starts to get more playing time in the future than Tyler Hero does. And
so he's a backcourt guy.
Yes. Yeah. But he can play that three spot. And then Kel'el Ware, Superman himself, he's the future of big men. We always talk about how we want that big dude.
Right.
What I see in him is what I'm seeing what AD is next to Bam. Like I'm just imagining it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks scary.
I'm telling you, like we said this like a week or so ago, the big man position it's still viable there. Again, 20 minutes a game. The Grizzlies got Zach Edey, the big guy from Purdue, right?
Yep.
Get in there, block shots, clog the lane. Yeah, crunch time. Yeah, you're going to take them off the floor, right? They're going to spread the floor, and that's what NBA is now. But there's still a spot. So you're saying Miami has like a developing big man.
A big man so he was picking up about 11 to 15 rebounds a game in the summer league. I know it's summer league. I know that's different.
Right.
But he was also scoring about 26 to 30 points a game. He was having his double-double. And not just lobs, not just dunks, not layup. He had the post up. He had the, the spin move. But he was also shooting from the three. So he could be a threat, man. He could be a threat.
See, that's like the next level because that's Jokic. That's what Jokic he's showing. You could play bully ball, but then Jokic says, "Hey, I could spread out the floor as well." Like that's just next level, consistently.
Yeah.
But if you could bang for 20 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes, and that can be the difference. And I'm talking about playoff basketball. That could be a difference in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. The Grizzlies, people sleeping. John Morant.
Shout out to UD for he's out here. He's coaching up Kel'el. He said one of the major things as a big man, and this is for throughout the whole league, not just Miami. You want to make it in this league, every 3 minutes, you better be going after a rebound. You get a rebound, you are going to make it very far in this league as a big man. And he took that with him throughout the summer league. And look, he's been hitting double-doubles. It's the game is still there. You just need to learn how to use it. And that's it.
And I think with summer league, because there's no way I don't know. I can't speak for all fans out there, but
Yeah.
there's no way that I could follow every team in the summer league. I just
Oh
don't do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You kind of follow your team, maybe like the top one or two, three picks to see what they do in the summer league,
right.
and then go from there. But if you are following a team or player, it's gonna be cool to see them kind of translate that to the preseason and then
Yeah.
see if they can crack the lineup. And so, anyone out there that's watching, your favorite teams, like, I'm a Lakers fan, lifelong
Yeah.
Lakers fan, disgruntled Lakers fan. Uh, I like Connect. He shows he has game. That's the white boy the Lakers got. They show he got some game. That's the rookie.
Yes,
I
sir.
think he can break into that. Um, I don't think he can get like that top 8 rotation yet because they're guard loaded with the Lakers as far as the team structure. But I think he has a chance to get, he's going to get in those blowout games. Either they're going to blow it out or the other way around.
Yeah.
And Bronny that's the only time Bronny's going to play when it's just like,
Yeah. No, 100%.
But Connect has game, and I think he can kind of challenge, some of these guys. That's what it's about. You got to go take somebody's position out there. And he got some wiggle. You know what I'm saying? He got, he probably been playing on the streets. I don't know.
Got some shots too. He got some shots,
I mean, he's I don't know how much defense he really got, but he's a scorer. And so that's where I'm kind of looking like, okay, preseason time. Let's see how this translates, and can he crack the top 10, on the team? So we'll see. We'll see. Any final thoughts with that, Carlos?
Just shout out to actually ESPN. I will say that this has got to be the most games I've seen on ESPN2, on ESPN itself. Like, we all know it's the narrative. We want to see Bronny play, all that stuff. But it's not just the Lakers. It's every game that's been on there. And, it's teams all around the league. You get to see the young talents. And that's big for them because they're putting their names out there. You're getting these fans that haven't seen the game before that are, more in tune now. You're getting more basketball now. And all it's like we said in our first episode, man. It's basketball all year long. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see.
Yeah, and we definitely can't sleep on the summer league. A couple of seasons ago, when Wembanyama's rookie year, this past summer, he was playing and they played against the Houston Rockets, and Jabari Smith Jr. was balling out. Balling. This was last summer, right? And then you get to the season, he's in the top 8, and he ended up starting. So it's like I'm saying, this summer league, don't sleep on. There's certain players they can make that leap, And so I say, we're gonna watch the journey. But I became a fan more of the Grizzlies because you shouted them out. I became a fan of them because how they're using that big man. I'm really interested in seeing getting him and Ja Morant.
I really hope he stays healthy, man, because it looks like his health is something that it's. I hate to compare him to this guy, but it's an Embiid thing, it's the hurt, the injuries.
Yeah.
So.
He may have to kind of reconstruct his body too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit on a college diet. So he's probably getting NIL last year. He's probably getting a couple 100,000. With his team. But you got to get that professional body now. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff I don't got to worry about. I don't need a professional body. He needs a professional body.
Yeah.
To hang into this league.
Yeah. No, but it's a good statement that you make because a lot of these players, especially nowadays, they're not willing to make that next step, that next level of change, and it's something that can. I mean, for God's sakes, look at LeBron, 49 years old. If more people need to start using his, I know he's a freak of nature, but
he's 30 now. He's at 40 now. So, but
my man, 39.
but now, allegedly, LeBron had to use something else. I ain't gonna start on this.
Here we go.
But, he's putting the money in his body, so I'll give him that.
The chamber and stuff like that.
Yeah, Dwight Howard did that. You know what I'm saying? He, stayed loose his whole career. He just, he became a dinosaur in this league. But I think people like Dwight Howard still has a place in this league. Just you're not going to make top contract money.
Oh yeah, no.
That's the thing. Unless you can stretch the floor, if you can shoot the three, then then we'll see.
And the thing is, even if Dwight Howard could stretch the three, you don't want Dwight Howard stretching a three for you. You really
I just don't want to see Dwight Howard, just I don't want to see
Yeah.
him shoot.
Yeah, we don't want
duck
that.
the ball. Yeah, just duck the ball.
Yeah.
But anyway, since we wrap this up with night views, I'm just gonna wrap this up. But plenty of exciting stuff. Like I said, going forward, we're gonna be keeping an eye on Olympic basketball on both sides. The men's should be entering round play soon. The women's are catching up with exhibition. So that's gonna be some cool stuff we have to talk about next week with that. And because the WNBA is on break, so it's really gonna be all about the Olympics next week, and that's gonna be exciting to see. You know what I'm saying, overall. As we close this out, Carlos, we got nothing else here. Definitely, we're broadcasting this, like I said, on the YouTube, Still Nation Sports and Entertainment. We're starting to crank up. Like my schedule's getting where it needs to be. This one's gonna look more polished over on the channel, so definitely check that out. And on the Twitter account for Still Nation Sports, and then we're on Carlos' channel on YouTube. So shout out to anyone watching this on his channel and on Twitter as well.
Yes, sir.
As we close this out, I'm still Abdul. Carlos, we night views. We talk basketball, all basketball, men's, women's, college, Olympics. Whatever, we may cover a high school game one day. Who knows?
Hey.
Man? It's whatever, man. Appreciate you for watching, man. And like I said, we try to just keep it honest and objective. That's just what we do, man. Except,
sir,
we talk about the Heat. It's not
all day, every day. Come on, man. Miami, come on now.
We out of here, man.